Welcome to World Championship Wrestling. Josh with you from Atlanta, Georgia. The Long Riders set to do battle with Thunderfoot 1 and 2. And wait a minute, there's Ron Garvin and Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. They're running down the rampway after Black Bart. Look out, Bart from behind. Ron Garvin took Bart down from behind, and our Gorgeous Jimmy shouted, "Don't mess with family," facing Wild Bill Irwin. And meanwhile, Ron Garvin with a suplex on the rampway. Ron Garvin and Jimmy Garvin apparently united. We have seen Black Bart attack Ron Garvin in recent weeks, and now he has backup. It is Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. Leg drop across the throat. Vance Thunderfoot 1 and 2 have not made their way to the ring, and it sounds like this match is going to be thrown out. A no contest here. Meanwhile, Jimmy Garvin, atomic drop onto Wild Bill. Fans, Ric Flair is ready for his match, and Magnum TA up in his face. Jumpin' Joey Maggs has made it to the ring. Flair's on his way to the ring as well. But there you saw the world champion.
And his opponent, accompanied by J. Dublin. And from Charlotte, North Carolina, weighing in at 245 pounds, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Flair got right up into the face of the world champion Magnum TA. Magnum was in the locker room area as Ric Flair was making his way to the ring to grab his robe. And thankfully, Flair has a previous engagement here to where we did not see any extracurricular activity already in the dressing room area. Thankfully, a fight did not break out. As you know, Ric Flair attacked Magnum last week. He wants a rematch for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that match has been signed for the Clash of the Champions Beach Blast, coming your way on Saturday, August the 30th. Flair hoping to regain the gold. So many return matches have been signed for the Clash 3 weeks from tonight. For the World Tag Team title, the Rock and Roll Express will defend against the former champions, the Midnight Express. We'll also see U.S. Champion Sting taking on the former champion Nikita Koloff. Vicious chop there by Flair, and Jumping Joey Maggs on the mat. James J. Dillon in the corner of Flair. Our referee for tonight's matches, referee Bill Scott. U.S. Tag Team title rematch as well. We will see the champions Rick Steiner and Eddie Gilbert taking on Ivan Koloff and Baron von Raschke. That is 3 weeks from tonight at the Clash of the Champions. But tonight, the dog-faced gremlin Rick Steiner will take on Ivan Koloff one-on-one. Also tonight, we will see the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff take on Lex Luger. And Jumpin' Joey Maggs trying to make the most of this opportunity. He has the former world champion on the mat. Stomps the arm. Covered here by Maggs. Leg hooked. One. A one count. Flair able to kick out. Sold out crowd here in Atlanta, Georgia once more for another night of World Championship Wrestling. Face first goes Flair to the mat. Flair rolls out to the floor, talking things over with James J. Dillon. Trying to slow down the tempo in Joey Maggs' momentum. Flair might have taken Joey Maggs a little too lightly here. Big right hand by Maggs, and another, no! Good block by the Nature Boy. And Flair back in the ring, elbow to the top of the head. Vicious chop, doubled over Maggs, and another. And now Flair is taking him to school. Flair wraps the leg over that bottom rope. The rope just digging into the flesh. The Road Warriors are here tonight also, fans. We'll also see Dangerous Dan Spivey and Kevin Sullivan taking on Sam Houston and Ron Simmons, former U.S. Tag Team Champions. The Midnight Express also in action. They're taking on Chief Wahoo, McDaniel, and Italian Stallion. Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard are here. In our main event, the World TV Champion Arn Anderson will face the American Dream Dusty Rhodes with the title on the line. 15-minute time limit in that one. And we are with you for 1 hour this evening. Kicks the back of the leg. As you know, that 1 hour could go a little longer. We will stay with you to bring you all the matches promised here this evening. Flair working over the leg. He wants to lock on that figure 4 and put away Jumpin' Joey Maggs. You have to wonder, has Magnum TA gotten into the head of Nature Boy Ric Flair here tonight? We saw them pass each other in the locker room, but now Flair locking on the figure 4. That's got to be all. Referee checking in. Joey Maggs trying to fight it. Needs to grab the bottom rope to break the hold. And Magnum is surely watching from the back. He will have to face Ric Flair in 3 weeks with the title on the line. But Joey Maggs able to escape the figure 4. Has Flair up now. Fan standing. Down goes the Nature Boy. Ric Flair's in trouble. Cover. Leg hooks. 1, 2. Upset. No. He kicked out. Flair kicked out. That would have been a big upset. And Jumpin' Joey Maggs showing his greenness there, inexperience. He tried to punch Ric Flair in the breadbasket, but Flair just grabbed the leg. And now Flair rolls out under the bottom rope, pulls himself up by the top rope. He is on the apron now. Here comes Joey Maggs over. Down goes Flair. He knocked him off the apron, and Joey Maggs was something to prove here this evening. And Maggs working on the leg of Flair. They have until the count of 10 to get back in the ring. Maggs throws him back in. This could be the upset of the year. Flair with a kick to the breadbasket. And Flair, small package, has him rolled up. 1, 2, 3. No, Maggs kicked out. Jumpin' Joey Maggs has come to fight here tonight. And Flair again back to the leg. Smart strategy by the Nature Boy. But again, kicks him away. And Maggs picks him up. Into the ropes goes Flair. Big elbow right to the kisser. But Maggs running out of gas. He is exhausted out there. Picks up Flair. Flair fighting back. Gut-wrench suplex. He took down Maggs. And Maggs now back up. Short arm clothesline. Down goes Flair. What a win this would be if Maggs could pin Flair here tonight. DDT. Flair's down. Flair's down. But Maggs needs to stay on him. Flair definitely thinking about Magnum TA. Maggs went for the body slam. Good block by Flair. Trips him up. And the spinning toe hold. Again, concentrating on the legs. Wearing him down. And Flair now going for the figure 4 for a second time. Surely Maggs won't get out of this one. He will not escape a second time. Flair's got it locked in, and it's over. But what a showing. Impressive showing from this young man, Jumpin' Joey Maggs. Flair wins by submission, but a hard-fought victory here tonight. It did not come easy. And one has to wonder, did Magnum TA get into the head of Flair as Flair made his way to the ring? They will face off in 3 weeks with the World Heavyweight title on the line. It is another win for Ric Flair.
Here is your winner, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Don't go away, fans. More action still to come. Welcome back, wrestling fans.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. Gilbert. And from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 280 pounds, one half of the United States Tag Team The Gremlin, Rick Steiner.
Steiner, one half of the tag team champions, U.S. tag team champions, along with that man right there, Eddie Gilbert. Missy Hyatt, their manager. Good to see Rick Steiner with plenty of backup here this evening. He's going to need it as he takes on the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff. The match has been signed for 3 weeks from tonight. A return match for the U.S. tag team titles. Steiner and Gilbert taking on Ivan Koloff and Bear Von Raschke, the former champions. Steiner waiting for the arrival of the Russian Bear.
And his opponent, accompanied by Baron, and from Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 298 pounds, the Russian gladiator, Ivan Koloff.
No surprise to see the Clawmaster, Bear Von Raschke, accompanying Ivan Koloff to the ring, along with their manager, number 1, Paul Jones. They, of course, are members of Paul Jones's army, along with the Barbarian Warlord and Nikita Koloff. What an army they are. We'll see Nikita Koloff in action here this evening as he takes on the total package Lex Luger. And fans, I understand Sting has said he will be in the corner of Lex Luger, even though Luger is not a member of Hot Stuff International. He could very well be being scouted by Missy Hyatt as a potential member. He would fit in well with that group. Sting and Luger, longtime friends. They work out together. Referee Bill Scott calls for the bell. Big forearm uppercut by the Russian Bear, and he takes down Rick Steiner. Koloff has a message to send tonight. He wants the U.S. Tag Team titles back, and he would love to take out Rick Steiner here this evening. 3 weeks ahead of the Clash of the Champions, Beach Blast. As we close out the summer and look forward to fall, crazy to think that this week coming up, where I'm from, the Dayton, Ohio area, kids starting back to school. Good DDT there by the dog-faced gremlin. Strong kick to the neck. Picks him up. Nice go behind and takedown by the dog-faced gremlin. Showing off those amateur wrestling skills. Missy Hyatt very pleased. But now Ivan Koloff with a good takedown of his own. And now slams the wrist against the mat. Our main event, of course, for the TV title. 15-minute time limit. Cover here by Koloff. Might have him. Hooks the leg. 1. Easy kick out there by Steiner. For the TV title later tonight, the champion, the enforcer, Arn Anderson, taking on the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. What a match that should be. Call your friends and tell them. Speaking of that, thank you so much to Kevin and Glad Fan for commenting on last week's video about Hulk Hogan. Definitely appreciate the comments. Into the corner goes the dog-faced gremlin. Good splash in the corner, and the Russian Nightmare down. Steiner putting the boots to him in the corner. Cover here, had a leg hook. 1, 2. Ivan grabbed the bottom rope. Referee saw it, and he'll call for the break. Steiner now, elbow to the lower back. We had a good Japanese belly-to-belly suplex. We had a nice full front sweep through the area last week. Big flying elbow drop off the top rope by the dog-faced gremlin. Things looking good for Rick Steiner. I definitely welcome the cooler weather. Head scissors. Elbow to the top of the head. Trying to bust that forehead open. And Ivan grabs the forehead in pain. 1. Cover. A 1 count. Koloff kicked out. Ivan up quickly. What a right hand by Steiner. He rocked him. Throws him into the corner. Whipped him right into the buckle. And Ivan Koloff in no man's land. He's in the wrong territory. Missy Hyatt backing up. What a right there by Steiner. He floored Ivan Koloff. Now stomps the bicep and the lower back. Steiner now, camel clutch, just sitting down on Ivan Koloff. Pulling back on the face. Koloff trying to get those hands away. Flips him over. Good counter by the Russian Bear. Ivan one-hand backbreaker. Both these guys just so tough. Ivan locks in the Russian Bear hug. Steiner nowhere to go. He gives up. Nowhere to go. He was locked in it. Ivan just so strong, made Rick Steiner submit. And that's what he hopes to do 3 weeks from tonight with the U.S. Tag Team titles on the line. As Koloff and Baron Von Raschke take on the champions, Eddie Gilbert and Rick Steiner. Fans stunned. Rick Steiner, I don't think he's ever submitted before, but here locked in. Nowhere to go, right in the middle of the ring. Has no other choice but to give up. Your winner, Ivan Koloff.
Here is your winner, the Russian Gladiator, Ivan Koloff.
Ivan could just lock that move in out of nowhere, and that's what he did here tonight. And he is in the winner's circle, going to the pay window. Impressive victory for the Russian Bear. We'll be right back. In the ring, Rip Rogers and Scott Sandlin taking on the awesome Road Warriors, Hawk and Animal. Hawk with a suplex onto Rogers. Precious Paul Ellering looking on. Hawk pounds away on the head of Rogers. What an upset. A couple weeks ago, as the Long Riders defeated Hawk and Animal, the Road Warriors, at the Great American Bash, fans were stunned by that loss. Good jawbreaker there by Rogers. And takes down Road Warrior Hawk. Tag made to Scott Sandlin. Hawk ready for him. Hoisted him up. Beautiful suplex. And Hawk just knocked out Rip Rogers. Vicious clothesline. Has Sandlin up now. Low kick. Referee didn't see that. Sandlin felt it for sure. And down goes Scott. Hawk not done with him. Road Warriors with something to prove here this evening. This is their first match since losing at Great American Bash. That was a big loss for them. A big setback in the rankings. They really plunged in the top 10. Now all 4 men in the ring. Hawk taking it to Rip Rogers with back elbows to the side of the head. Meanwhile, the legal man, Animal, and Scott Sandlin. Sandlin was just suplexed to the mat. Road Warriors just manhandling this young team. Animal from behind. Waistlock. Vicious suplex. Stomps the bicep. Has Sandlin up now. Fall away slam. Sent him sailing across the ring. And now Animal again going for a textbook suplex. They are suplexing the living daylights out of Sandlin. Down goes Rogers. Rogers had just made it back up into the apron. Animal just knocked him for a loop. Spins him around. Military press. And down goes Sandlin. Animal now throws him into the corner. Fans know what's coming. It's the Doomsday Device. Has him up on his shoulders. Hawk off the top. Turn the man inside out with a vicious clothesline. And again, Hawk using Rip Rogers' face as a punching bag. Wraps him up. Referee slow to get into position. 2 and 3. No! He kicked out. And Hawk yelling at the referee saying it was a slow count. Kicks Sandlin again. Hawk is furious. Our Mike thankfully can't pick it up, but he is yelling some obscenities at the referee, Bill Scott. And what's Hawk doing now? What's he doing? He's got a steel chair. This is uncharacteristic of the Road Warriors. And Bill Scott making him give him that chair. Hawks, he's going after the referee. He's got the ref. No. Come on, Hawk. Hawk has lost it. He's been disqualified. Sandlin and Rogers win by DQ. We'll be right back. Welcome back, fans. Security had to help break up. They had to restrain Hawk.
The following contest is scheduled for
what is going on with the Road Warriors?
Making his way to the ring from Texas, weighing in at 224 pounds, Dirty Doug Marcantel.
That is Dirty Dutch Mantel. He is taking on Brad Armstrong. But fans, it goes down as another loss for the Road Warriors, 2 in a row now. And they lost to Scott Sandlin and Rip Rogers, a team they dominated. Hawk just letting his temper get the best of him. He went for the steel chair. Referee pulled it away. And then Hawk took out his frustrations on Bill Scott. Thankfully, our referee is fine. There you see him, Bill Scott. He's as tough as they come.
From Marietta, Georgia, weighing in at 226 pounds, Brad Armstrong.
Brad Armstrong making his way to the ring, came up short of the Great American Bash as he challenged for the TV title against Arn Anderson. What a match that was, however. Armstrong with nothing to be ashamed of, and he will surely challenge for that championship sometime in the near future, one would think. But tonight he has to get past Dirty Dutch Mantel. This should be a great matchup. Referee Bill Scott calls for the bell. Good punch there by Mantel. He really took Armstrong by surprise. Armstrong fighting back with elbows to the midsection. And a third. Good suplex there by Armstrong. He is fired up, trying to get this Atlanta crowd behind him. Has him up. Atomic drop. Stomps the arm. Looking for the submission right here. Mantel slips free. And Mantel goes to the eyes. Straight right hand. He takes down Armstrong. Trying to pull the arm out of the socket. Has him up. Mantel taking it to Brad Armstrong here. Armstrong moved out of the way, but not for long. Good neck breaker. Mantel would definitely like to be part of the Lethal Lottery coming up in October. The action will begin October 1st. We'll show one tag team match per weekday leading up into late October. Then we'll have the Battle Bowl event. The winner will be crowned the Battle Bowl champion of 2025 and will receive a world title shot. Cover here by Mantel. Leg hooked. Good kick out there by Armstrong. Reverse chinlock. Really has it cinched in. Armstrong fading here. Gets to one knee. Now to both feet. Drives the elbow to the breadbasket. And again. Good job of breaking out of the hold. Whips him into the ropes. Vicious chop there by Armstrong. And Brad going up top. Brad will definitely be one of the entrants. He overjudged that there. He misjudged it. He overshot Mantel. That's what I'm trying to say. He overshot Mantel, just misjudged the distance, but thankfully made a quick recovery. Mantel slips free. As I was saying, Armstrong will definitely be part of the Lethal Lottery. He would love to draw out a name like Sting or Magnum TA as his partner or Lex Luger, but you never know who you're going to draw. He could very well be teamed with Dutch Mantel. Armbar here, or maybe Arn Anderson. They have to work together as a team to advance to the Battle Bowl. Good shoulder tackle there by Mantel. Takes down Armstrong, now kicking the backs of the legs. Went for the stomp. I think he misjudged it there. He landed that one. And again, pulling on the arm. I think they call that the stump puller. Congratulations, of course, going out to Cody Rhodes, the new World Wrestling Federation Universal Champion, for the second time. Did I say World Wrestling Federation? Good hip toss by, or I should say arm drag by Armstrong. World Wrestling Entertainment Champion. Shoves him away. Vicious clothesline by Mantel. Sent him up and over. Armstrong moved out of the way. Head scissors on the floor. Good move there. Armstrong up top. Flying elbow drop. Cover. Leg hooked. 1, 2. No, 1 count only. Armstrong cranking on the neck. Picks up Mantel. Into the corner. Puts him up on the top rope. What's Armstrong going to do with him here? Big right hand. Superplex from the very top rope into your living room. Nice execution. Armstrong needs to go for the cover here. Sizing him up. Good back elbow, knee to the head. Discus punch. And down goes Mantel. Armstrong not done with him. Going up top once more. Flying elbow drop. And the cover. Leg hooked. 1, 2. No! Thought he had him. Mantel kicked out. And now it's Armstrong's turn to complain to the referee. And wisely, Bill Scott backed up. Who knows what's coming? And there's the Russian leg sweep. And now a cover. Wraps up the leg. 1, 2. He got him. Impressive win for Brad Armstrong over Dutch Mantel here this evening. And that'll move him up the rankings. Let's take a look at the replay here. Dutch Mantel really took it to Armstrong early on. Armstrong overcame and comes away with the victory. There you see at the beginning of the end for Mantel. The flying elbow drop. Mantel able to kick out, but could not kick out of the Russian leg sweep. Tremendous win for Brad Armstrong. Don't go anywhere, fans. We'll be right back. In the ring, Dangerous Dan Spivey and Kevin Sullivan taking on the former U.S. Tag Team Champions, the All-American Ron Simmons and Sam Houston. Big matchup here in the Tag Team Division. Tag made to Houston. Good double team by the former champions. Houston now working on the leg of Spivey. First time seeing Dan Spivey and Kevin Sullivan in action here in World Championship Wrestling. They would love to knock off the former U.S. Tag Team Champions. Meanwhile, Houston and Simmons desperately need a victory to get back into title contention. They could not defeat Ivan Koloff and Baron Von Raschke in the rematch. Roll up here by Houston. Clean pin here. 2. Near fall. Spivey just kicked out. Sam Houston has been on a roll as of late in World Championship Wrestling and singles action. Look out for the Games Master Kevin Sullivan coming over. Sam Houston leaps off the top rope. Going after Sullivan now. Just pulled him off the apron. And now here comes Dan Spivey over. He throws Sullivan in the ring. Grabs Spivey. Backbreaker. Spivey and Houston, the legal men. Throws him back in the ring. Houston took a swing at Spivey, and Spivey moved out of the way and delivered one of his own. Tag made to Kevin Sullivan. Good chop there by Kevin, and a beautiful drop kick. Right hand by Houston as he fights back. Sam has him up. Beautiful suplex, floats over into a pin. One. A 1 count only. Great action here tonight on World Championship Wrestling. Tag made to Ron Simmons, double team coming up. Off the second rope. Double axe handle. Has Sullivan up. Good backbreaker. Great strength on display by the All-American. Sullivan takes him down, but Simmons with a short arm clothesline floors Kevin Sullivan. Still to come, fans. The total package Lex Luger to square off against the Russian Nightmare Nikita Koloff. Also for the World TV title, the Champion Arn Anderson taking on Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. Good military press and slam there by Simmons. Belly-to-belly suplex. Takes down Sullivan. And now Simmons with left hands raining down on Kevin Sullivan. Also in action tonight, Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard. We saw Ric Flair in action earlier. Squeaked out a win against Jumpin' Joey Maggs. Good clothesline by Sullivan. Took Houston up and over the top rope, and he went crashing to the floor. Tag made to Dan Spivey. Referee Bill Scott ordering Simmons out of the ring. Spivey coming down, but Ron Simmons going to intercept him. Went for a flying shoulder tackle, nobody home. Spivey moved out of the way, but Sam Houston, taking care of things his own way, slams down Dan Spivey. And Spivey might not be able to continue here. He has made it to his feet. He is back in the ring. Sam Houston went for a roll-up, looked like, but Spivey moved out of the way. Has Houston up. Extended high. Whirly bird. And Spivey fired up now. Houston rolls out of the ring, now back in. Beautiful Russian leg sweep. And that really got Spivey off his game. And now Houston going for the Bulldog. He planted Spivey. Cover. Leg hooked. 1, 2, 3. He got him. Sullivan tried to get in to make the save. Couldn't get there. Ron Simmons blocked him even though Sullivan took him down. Simmons was still able to prevent Sullivan from making the save. There you see that clean pin there. His arm is where it should be. It is not grabbing the tights for extra leverage. And Houston and Simmons returning to their winning ways in World Championship Wrestling. A great win over Kevin Sullivan and Dan Spivey here tonight.
Here are your winners, the All-American Ron Simmons and Sam Houston.
Great win for this great duo. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. It is time for the total package Lex Luger to take on Nikita Koloff. And there you see Sting fulfilling his promise. He will be in the corner of Lex Luger here this evening.
Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Sting from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 275 pounds, the total package, Lex Luger.
Even though Luger is not a member of Hot Stuff International, he is a friend of Sting, and Sting has his back here this evening. You have to think Sting also wants to get into the head of Nikita Koloff, the #1 contender to the U.S. title, and the man who will challenge him for the title in 3 weeks at the Clash of the Champions Beach Blast. Nikita not coming alone either. There's the Barbarian. And number 1, Paul Jones.
From Moscow, Russia, weighing in at 267 pounds, Russian Nightmare, Nikita Koloff.
We have seen the Barbarian use Luger's maneuver, his finishing move, the human torture rack, in recent weeks. And obviously he has been trying to get into the head of Luger as well by coming to the ring. Fans, during the break, some big news just handed down from the WCW Championship Committee, and that is the Road Warriors. Because of their actions, they have been fined $5,000 for hitting the referee and suspended through the month of September without pay. What a strict punishment for the Road Warriors. But our Championship Committee, tired of seeing referee Bill Scott attacked. And that was a blatant attack as well. Meanwhile, Nikita Koloff has Luger down. We will not see Hawk and Animal until October 1st. One-hand bulldog there by Luger. And Luger taking time to pose for the crowd. Not a smart move. And Koloff made him pay for it with that vicious clothesline. Good move there by the Russian Nightmare, the former U.S. champion. He rakes the back. Luger in trouble. Whips him into the corner, charging in. Luger moves out of the way, spins him around, has him up. Cracks the knee. We saw Hawk do that to Bill Scott earlier. Into the corner. Luger puts him up on the top rope. This is also a top contenders match. In the top 10, both men in the top 10. Good suplex there by Luger. Luger, of course, has dropped quite a bit because of a loss to Barry Windham. Rolls him over. A kick out by Koloff. Barry Windham moved ahead of him in the top 10 at the Great American Bash 2 weeks ago. Double axe handle. Luger trying to get back up the rankings. Perhaps challenge for the U.S. title against his own friend Sting. Sting would definitely not back down from such a challenge. I'm sure they would put their friendships aside for one night with the U.S. title on the line. Good kick out there by Luger. Or perhaps Luger could challenge Magnum TA for the World Heavyweight Championship. Whoever the champion might be after Beach Blast. Ric Flair definitely wants to regain that World Heavyweight title. Four title matches already signed for the Clash of the Champions. All return matches. The former champion is going after the current champs. Luger trying to slow down the tempo. Barbarian coming over, and Luger had nowhere to go. Good clothesline by Koloff. If you missed it earlier, Eddie Gilbert, Rick Steiner will put the U.S. tag belts on the line against the former champions, Ivan Koloff and Baron von Raschke. Ivan, of course, defeating Rick Steiner earlier. Luger going after Barbarian. I think Barbarian yelled something at him. Good shoulder tackle there by Luger. He took him down. And number 1, Paul Jones coming over. Luger needs to focus on his opponent. Good takedown there by Luger. Lateral press. 1. A 1 count only. Also, Sting will take on Nikita Koloff with the U.S. title on the line. For the World Tag Team titles, the former champions Midnight Express seeking revenge. They feel they were cheated out of those tag team titles for that special stipulation at that steel cage match 2 weeks ago at the Great American Bash. DDT by Luger. Wraps him up 1. That special stipulation was Jim Cornette was barred from ringside, and also the Rock and Roll Express could win the titles by escaping the cage, and that's exactly what they did. And now the Midnights hope to regain the titles in 3 weeks in that return match. And then for the World Heavyweight title, the World Champion Magnum TA to defend against the former champion Nature Boy Ric Flair. Kick to the midsection. Big right hand. Koloff whips him into the buckle. Big clothesline. And down goes Luger. Luger trying to roll out of the way. To no avail. Koloff taking it to him, trying to weaken the arms. So Luger cannot hoist him up in that human torture rack. Cover 1. A 1 count. Luger got the shoulder up. It is deafening here in the arena at Atlanta, Georgia. Military press by Koloff. Down goes Luger. And Koloff now. What an elbow there by Luger as Luger fights back. Went for the clothesline. Nobody home. And Koloff with a knee right to the face. And a clothesline that floors the total package. Koloff wincing. His back is in a lot of pain here, but he is going for the Russian sickle. If he lands it, it's over. Charge again. Luger moved out of the way. He ducked. And a belly-to-belly suplex by Luger. And there's Paul Jones up on the apron. Luger coming over, having words with number 1 Paul Jones. Look out from behind. Here comes Nikita. Russian leg sweep. He hit Luger with a Russian leg sweep. Luger out to the floor. Going after Barbarian. Has him up. Good suplex. I don't know what's going on between Luger and Barbarian, but Luger going after him, and he's gotten his focus off his opponent. And that's going to cost him. Good suplex there by the Russian Nightmare. Stomps the face. Picks him up. There's a knee right to the kisser, and down goes Luger. Picks him up. Going for the body slam. Good block by the total package. And Luger, nice go behind. And a beautiful takedown. Has him up. He's going for the rack. He's going for the human torture rack right in front of the Barbarian. He's got him up. Koloff's going to have to submit right here. He's got it locked in. Koloff in trouble. Referee Bill Scott asking him. He's shouting no. He's shouting no. Can Koloff get out of it? The best thing to do is what Koloff just did. He did not panic, and he was able to slip free there. He has Luger now. Throws him into the buckle. Just taunting Luger from behind. Beautiful takedown by the Russian Nightmare. Now working on the arms once again. Koloff has him up. Good block by Luger. A forearm to the face. Both men not giving an inch. Kick to the midsection by Luger. Russian leg sweep returns the favor. Luger now has Koloff. Up and over goes Nikita. That is not a disqualification under World Championship Wrestling rules. Thankfully for Luger. And now number 1 Paul Jones coming after Luger. Wisely backs away as Luger takes a swing at him. Throws Nikita into the railing. And now right hands on the Russian Nightmare. Nikita is down. Here comes Paul Jones from behind. Sting, you might want to come over and help out Luger. Here comes Barbarian over now. Again, Barbarian backing away. Luger's going after him. Barbarian just avoiding him like the plague. Now he has him. Takes down Barbarian. Takes down Paul Jones with a clothesline. And down goes Luger. Or down goes Nikita, excuse me. As well. They got to get back in the ring. They've got to get back in the ring. Double count out. Double count out. We'll be right back. Things definitely not settled between Lex Luger and Paul Jones's Army. A double count out draw.
The following contest
That's Ricky Morton.
is scheduled for
Ricky
one
Morton
fall.
coming out with
On the
Italian
way to
Stallion
the ring,
and Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
by Ricky Morton at a combined weight of 545
That is definitely
pounds.
strategic by Morton.
Daniel
He wants to get into the heads of
Stallion.
Jim Cornette, Bobby Eaton, and Stan Lane. That is definitely planned by Morton. Gibson is not here tonight from what I understand. Robert Gibson not in the building. But Ricky Morton is. And he's going to be in the corner of Italian Stallion and Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
And their opponents, accompanied by Jim Corey Webb. And at a combined weight of 457 pounds, beautiful Bobby Eaton Webb and Sweet Stan Lane, the Midnight Express.
The Midnight Express, the #1 contenders to the World Tag Team titles, taking on Italian Stallion and Chief Wahoo McDaniel. They did not expect Ricky Morton to be in the corner of these two men here this evening. And how will they respond to that? Still to come, Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard in action. And of course, our big main event for the TV title, the champion Arn Anderson taking on the #1 contender, Dusty Rhodes. Beautiful Bobby Eaton starting things out for the Midnight Express. Jim Cornette in their corner. Chief Wahoo McDaniel starting things off for his team. Backs Bobby in against the ropes. Referee got to separate him here. Did not get a clean break. He slapped the taste out of Wahoo's mouth. And a big right hand by beautiful Bobby. Good side suplex. And there you see Morton in the corner, of course, of Wahoo and Stallion. Bobby trying to wear down Wahoo McDaniel. That won't work. He just sweeps the leg out from underneath him. And he'll make the tag now to the Italian Stallion. Bobby ready for him. Beautiful scoop slam. What's Bobby doing? Going out to the floor. He just punched Ricky right in the mouth. And Ricky going after him. But if Ricky comes in the ring, he risks seeing his team disqualified here. And Bobby going up to the top rope. High risk move. Flying elbow drop from up top. Fans just signed for next week. It's going to be Lex Luger and Sting teaming up to take on the Barbarian and Nikita Koloff. What a tag team match that ought to be. If now there's any speculation about Luger potentially signing with Missy Hyatt and Hot Stuff International, that's definitely been increased. Could Luger very well join that stable? I think he would fit in well. Good elbow there by Wahoo. Or perhaps he'll just remain in allegiance with that group. Good elbow there by Wahoo. Bobby moved out of the way. Bobby's as tough as they come. Beautiful suplex. Bobby picks him up. Flips him into the corner. Wahoo flips him around. And now Wahoo gonna send him to the opposite side of the ring. Tag made to the Stallion. And Stallion and Wahoo working well together. Stan Lane went for a cheap shot. He missed with that right hand to the back of the head of Stallion. That's what he was aiming for. And now referee Bill Scott ordering Stan Lane out of the ring. Into the ropes goes Stallion. High elevation on that backdrop. And now we'll see Stan Lane for the first time, at least legally, in the ring. Snaps the head down. That really stunned the Stallion. A shoulder tackle to the midsection sends Wahoo to the floor. And now Stan Lane going after Ricky Morton as well. Maybe Morton is saying something. He just wailed on him right there. And now attacks the leg of Morton. Beautiful Bobby Stan and Stan Lane. They want those tag titles back. They are currently the #1 contenders to those titles. Front face lock by Lane. Picks up the Stallion, who's no small man. Flips him over. Has him up. The Stallion now fighting back with a forearm shot. Really staggered Stan Lane. Face first goes Lane. Into that top turnbuckle. Double team now coming up. The Stallion. Here goes Bobby, and Bobby came a little bit too late. Tried to attack Wahoo as he came off the ropes, but came up empty. The Stallion and Wahoo working well together. And he is just working over Lane in the corner. Pulling on the arm. The 7 o'clock hour fast approaching on the East Coast. We'll stay with you as long as needed to bring you the remaining matches. We still have a main event TV title match to come. Also, Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard in action and tag team competition. Wahoo has Stan Lane down. Here with Beautiful Bobby. Again, referee Bill Scott orders him out of the ring. Bill Scott said, "Respect my authority." Right hand from behind. Now Jim Cornette up on the apron. Bill Scott issuing warnings to the Midnight Express. They better heed them. They could end up suspended as well. And there goes their rematch for the World Tag Team titles. Tag made to Beautiful Bobby. If you missed the announcement earlier, after Hawk attacked referee Bill Scott, the Road Warriors have been suspended through the month of September. Cover here by Beautiful Bobby. One. And they were fined $5,000 for striking a referee. Right hand there by Lane. Headlock takeover by Beautiful Bobby. Jim Cornette threw a chair in the ring. And now it's Lane going after Morton. Ricky Morton taken down on the floor. And Lane really taking it to Morton. They need to focus on their opponents. And not on Ricky Morton. Although that was the sole purpose that Morton's out here, to get into the heads of the Midnight Express. Just slammed Eaton down. He was lucky not to hit that steel chair. Good elbow there by Beautiful Bobby. Wahoo fighting back, kick to the midsection. And Wahoo with a belly-to-belly suplex takes down Beautiful Bobby. And Bill Scott throws that chair out of the ring. Wahoo looking wearied here. He is having words with Jim Cornette. Look out, Bobby from behind. Rolls him up. He's got the tights. He's got the tights. He got him. He just pinned him. Give the assist to manager Jim Cornette there, providing the distraction. Beautiful Bobby came up from behind. Got his hand under the tights for extra leverage. Let's see if our cameras show that. And the Midnight Express victorious here tonight, thanks to Jim Cornette and a dirty tactic by Beautiful Bobby. There you see it. Can't see it that well on the camera, but he has the hands under those trunks for extra leverage.
Here are your winners, Beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane, the Midnight Express.
Another win for the Midnight Express. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Welcome back, wrestling fans. In the ring, Randy and Bill Malky. They will take on two members of the Four Horsemen, Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard. There you see Baby Doll and James J. Dillon.
10, and at a combined weight of 516 pounds, Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard.
Windham and Blanchard, two members of the Four Horsemen. Windham recently scored an impressive victory over Lex Luger. And Tully Blanchard won that steel cage match 2 weeks ago against Dusty Rhodes, sending Dusty Rhodes down the ladder. But Rhodes, however, is still a top contender. In fact, the #1 contender to the TV title, held by another member of the Horsemen, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson. And fans, we will stay with you to bring you our main event still to come. Anderson taking on Dusty Rhodes. Beautiful suplex here by Barry Windham onto Bill Malky. Swift kick to the back. The Horsemen looking to punish the Malky brothers here this evening. Baby Doll and James J. Dillon in their corner. The corner of the Horsemen, that is. Has him up. Windham just taking him to school. To quote Ric Flair. Beautiful move there by Windham. Barry Windham now stomps the arm of Bill Malky. Beautiful move there. As you know, wrestling fans, I enjoy going to garage sales during the spring and summer months. Recently, I picked up a copy of The Devil's Cat by William A. Johnstone. It was a 1980s book. When I was a kid in the small town of Piqua, Ohio, that's P-I-Q-U-A, Piqua, I used to go to Kroger with my mom. She would go shopping, but I would head to what I call the Book Nook. It was a special section of the store devoted to magazines and books. They had a lot of wrestling magazines lined up there on the shelves, but they also had a lot of horror novels of the time, and that Devil's Cat book was one of them. I like the cover. It's a cat perched on top of a tombstone, and it has like a hologram face. As you turn it, you see it turns into like the devil's face, and then you turn it again, it turns back to a cat's face, a hissing cat. So I found that book at a garage sale recently for 25 cents. It's a great deal there, a quarter for that great book, and I'm currently reading it. It was published by Zebra Press, Zebra Books, way back in like 1987. Meanwhile, Tully Blanchard really taking it to Randy Malky, throws him into that steel railing. Randy trying to fight back. Good gut-wrench suplex there by Tully. Needs to get him back in the ring, and he does. Right hand floors Bill Malky, sends him sailing to the floor. But I definitely bought a lot of wrestling magazines from that Kroger store. Kroger's a grocery store for those of you not in the Dayton, Ohio area. They're located in other states too, though. Let me know if you have a Kroger in your area. I think they're based in Cincinnati. And Randy Malky taking it to Tully. Barry Windham tried to drop kick him. Randy ducked his head to avoid it. Tully able to get free on his own. And the Malky's trying to pull off an upset, but Barry Windham now taking it to Randy Malky. Bill Scott orders him out of the ring. He is not the legal man. And now Tully with the elbow drop. And a second. Tully has him up. Vicious chop there. Really taking it to Randy Malky. Right hand there by Randy. Randy fighting back. But Tully stops the offense. No, Randy again with the elbow. Kick to the knee. The clothesline has no effect on Tully. And a beautiful drop toe hold by the veteran. The Buckies would love to pull off an upset over the Horsemen here this evening. Tully Blanchard going for the pile driver. He planted him. He drilled Randy Malky with that pile driver. Tully's not done with him yet. He's going to dish out some more punishment on Randy. Fans upset. They feel like he should have showed some mercy. Should have showed some mercy to Randy Malky, but he is inflicting more pain on this youngster. He is doubled over in pain. Good snapmare there by Blanchard. Blanchard with a left and another. Randy Malky reeling. Vicious chops there by Tully. Another vicious chop. And a right hand. Tully just taunting. And Randy tosses him up and over. Tully able to skin the cat there by grabbing the top rope. Good kick to the midsection as Bill Malky has been tagged in. Tully really taking it to Bill Malky. Has him up. Atomic drop. Cover here by Tully. 1, 2. Bill somehow able to kick out. Float over DDT by Windham onto Randy Malky. And Tully again sizing up Bill. He's going to give him a pile driver. Wait a minute. There's Bill fighting back. Bill Malky fought his way out. What a chop there by Tully. Now Tully wasting no time. He's going for the slingshot suplex. Fans, this one's over. No way is he kicking out of that. Tully with a cover. Hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. Randy Mulkey got sent sailing, courtesy of that right hand of Barry Windham. And Tully Blanchard and Barry Windham victorious tonight. A little harder than they thought it was going to be, I'm sure. The Mulkeys really gave it their all, but just not enough here tonight against the Horsemen.
Here are your winners, Barry Windham and Tully Blanchard, the Four Horsemen.
Another win for the Horsemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WCW World Television Championship.
Welcome to the main event of the evening. The American Dream Dusty Rhodes to challenge the Enforcer Arn Anderson for the World Television title. There is a 15-minute time limit in this one, and we will stay with you to bring you the conclusion of this matchup. The American Dream making his way to the ring. Tremendous ovation for him from this sold-out crowd in Atlanta, Georgia. Fans just signed for next week. Black Bart will take on Ron Garvin one-on-one. And also in 2 weeks, signed, Wild Bill Irwin will take on Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin. And in 3 weeks, it's been signed for the Clash of the Champions. Black Bart and Wild Bill Irwin, the Long Riders, will take on Gorgeous Jimmy Garvin and the man with the hands of stone, Ron Garvin. As you know, next week, Lex Luger and Sting will take on Barbarian and Nikita Koloff. What a matchup that should be. But also signed for the Clash of the Champions, it'll be the Barbarian taking on Lex Luger. So many signings happening tonight. And what a match, what a card it's going to be for the Clash of the Champions Beach Blast as we say goodbye to summer on August 30th. James J. Dillon, the manager of the Horsemen, accompanying his only champion to the ring. A little weird, a little surreal to say Ric Flair is no longer the world champion, but that is the case. That title is now held by Magnum TA. Ric Flair will look to regain it in 3 weeks as he takes on Magnum TA in that rematch. What a night it's been so far, fans. Could we see a title change this evening? Looks like Anderson is donning his old Brainbusters jacket. Shout out to Bobby the Brain Heenan. What a manager. There you see that beautiful World Television title. Let's go down to our ring announcer.
Making his way to the ring from Austin, Texas, weighing in at 270 pounds, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. Introducing the champion from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 225 pounds, he is the WCW World Television Champion, the Enforcer, Arn Anderson.
Thank you so much for tuning in this evening and for staying with us. Bonus coverage as we bring you this main event for the World TV title. Referee Bill Scott holding the title high. It is on the line. Referee calls for the bell. And there you see the clock. 15-minute time limit. Collar and elbow tie-up. Good wrist lock here by the Enforcer. Nice reversal by the American Dream. Overhand wrist lock. And a beautiful takedown by the American Dream. Fans, if you don't follow Gary Michael Capetta on Facebook, please do so. He recently brought up a good point about the current state of wrestling and how you don't see good basic moves like a good lockup and a good collar and elbow tie-up and a hammerlock anymore. Good leg lock here by the enforcer, Arn Anderson. Good basic wrestling skills needed in today's wrestling. Leaping leg drop there by Arn Anderson. And another. Right hands here by the enforcer. That time, that clock, it favors the champion. If time runs out, he's still the champ. Big boot to the face by Dusty Rhodes and a beautiful Russian leg sweep. And Rhodes now dropping all the weight down on the lower back of the enforcer. Vicious chop there. Good left there by the enforcer. Short arm clothesline. Took down the challenger. I have to say, Gary Michael Capetta is my favorite ring announcer of all time. Dusty has him up. Beautiful pile driver. I talked about in old videos about going to see World Championship Wrestling for the first time. October 16th, 1990 in Troy, Ohio. I went with some friends, my sister, and her boyfriend at the time. They're not together any longer. He drove us there. Actually, his brother went along too. But anyway, Gary Michael Capetta was there. He was the announcer, the ring announcer that night. Sting was there. He wrestled the Black Scorpion, or somebody dressed up as a Black Scorpion. I've said this before. Look, he was unmasked at the end. He covered his face, but he had curly, long, white hair. He looked like Moondog Spotter Rex. Some have said that Al Perez often took on the role of Black Scorpion. Rhodes now going after the leg. Good elbow. Just a memorable night. I was 12 years old. The Reds were en route to winning the World Series over the Oakland Athletics. They swept them. The Reds haven't been back to the World Series since. But still, at least I got to see it once. Airplane spin here by Dusty Rhodes. Takes down Anderson. Slams him down. And now Rhodes applying that vicious shoulder claw. Anderson in trouble. Sweeps the leg. Anderson now picks up Rhodes. Dragon screw holds onto the leg. Trying to break the leg of Rhodes. Now stomping away. That was the night that I met Kevin Nash. At the time, he was known as Master Blaster Steel. He signed a post-it note for me, a sticky post-it note. And also, his tag team partner Blade signed a post-it note as well. Lost them. I lost those autographs in a move. We moved away from my childhood home, and they got lost in the move. Anderson slips free. Picks up Rhodes. Slams him down face first. The Iron Sheik was there that night. He took on Flying Brian Pillman, I want to say. Yeah, because Gary Michael Capetta made the point to make sure everybody knew he was from Cincinnati. Good kick out there by Rhodes. Flying Brian won over Iron Sheik. Front face lock there by Anderson. Now claw in the eyes. 10 minutes left in the time limit. Takes down Dusty. Turns him over. Boston Crab. Rhodes in trouble. Able to use the leg strength to get out of that move. Dusty sizing up Anderson. Anderson rolls out of the way. Claps his ears. Good right there by the American Dream. He's got Anderson trapped in the corner. Sledgehammer punch. Anderson rolls out to the floor. And Double A takes down Dusty from behind. Anderson just said, "I've had enough." What's he saying here? He's had enough. He's got a chair. No, no. Disqualification. Anderson's been disqualified. Taking the chair to Dusty Rhodes. He'll retain the title. Dusty Rhodes wins by DQ. We're out of time. See you next Saturday.